Well, today's commencement speaker is a very, very special young man, Jay Martin. Now, they say that Jay is really a smart cookie, but really, who doesn't have the skills and expertise to work on a man-machine interface for meshing astronauts and exoskeletal robotics using compliant force distribution technology? Couldn't we all develop a compliant force distribution hip disarticulation, hemipelvectomy, and shoulder disarticulation 4/4 level socket interface design in our sleep? To tell the truth, when I look at Jay's bio, I see that he's worked on projects for NASA and developed an Iron Man type robotic suit. And I'm glad I have a less demanding job like university president. Jay's creativity, innovation, and invention are truly making a difference in this world. His advancements in prosthetics have improved the quality of life for countless people. His inventions are used in everything from farming to military operations, and we're blessed to have him teach in our Graduate School of Engineering. He's also married to an OC alum. Jay's wife Lisa is the daughter of our track and field coach Randy Heath and his wife Barbara. Jay and his wife Lisa are proud parents, including parent of a 3-month-old, so any bags under his eyes are deserved. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Jay Martin.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. I'm excited to get to join you guys and proud of you guys as well. But you have each labored to gain knowledge and understanding in your respective disciplines. For the Masters of Engineering students here, you guys probably understand engineering equations better than most professional engineers 5 years out of school. The business MBA students, you probably understand how to put business plans together better than most recent graduates. You guys have certainly invested considerable amount of time, considerable amount of money and determination to accomplish what we're celebrating today. And you certainly should be celebrated. This is a great moment. There are few times in life that so much attention culminates around a moment like this. I've now been out of grad school for 15 years, and I have certainly used many of the equations that I learned in my formal education along the way. The knowledge and understanding that I gained has been well used in my career. But I'd like to share with you a different story. In fact, the backstory of what's transpired for me in my career since grad school, since I was in your seats 15 years ago. In my graduate studies for clinical prosthetics, I was the youngest person in my class. I had more experience going into that program than any of my classmates. Prior to attending my graduate program for clinical prosthetics, I had 2 of the top clinicians in the world as my personal mentors. I completed the best pedigree of an education that money could buy from 2 Ivy League schools for undergrad and graduate programs. Right after completing my grad school, I was in residency for clinical prosthetics, where I studied under a world-renowned clinician at one of the world's leading clinical facilities. So when it came time for me to sit for my board exams, I was prepared and I was confident. I remember one Saturday I flew down to Dallas, Texas to sit for my board exams. That afternoon I did the exams, and leaving there I felt incredibly confident that I did well. A few weeks later I'm back at my office and I find a letter in my mailbox for me. I open it up, it's my results. I open them up with excitement, and to my surprise, I failed one portion of my board exams. And so, maintaining composure in front of my colleagues standing there, I quietly walked out of the lab that I was in and went out to my car to process the blow. I was shocked and I was embarrassed. I was just as much disappointed in myself as I was fearful of others' disappointment in me for failing this board exam, notably my mentors and my boss. But through failing that board exam and sitting in my car for those few minutes became one of the most defining moments of my career. In those few minutes, I gained a vision for what the rest of my career was going to be about. As loud as someone speaking into my ear, though without audible words, I felt the Lord speak to me and very clearly say that this would be a season that would be unlike how it feels like it should be. I felt like a failure. I felt like the season was just a big failure. But instead, I so clearly felt the Lord's impression that what He was going to do was to have an impact on my patients' lives in a very unique way through me. That He was going to impact the world through innovation through me, and that He was going to give me an opportunity to teach and equip others. In that season to follow, I began pursuing endeavors that were far greater than my education had prepared me for. In that season to follow, I began pursuing endeavors that were more complex than I had understanding for. And in that season to follow, I began pursuing endeavors that required a strategic plan that to bring about that I would only gain through hindsight years later. I had no idea how to get to where I was aiming for. No idea at all. But I was handed the right favor at just the right time from the right people. Some of my endeavors since have had a clear path to their success, and many have been greatly challenged by opposition. My ace card in all of them, though, was to solely beg for the Lord's provision and favor, that He would give me wisdom and discernment and understanding on a daily basis, that He would give me invention and design, because I know that I haven't had any capacity to accomplish what I had set out to pursue on my own. Every single merit that I've earned in my career since has a story behind it. It's a story that has nothing to do with my own great education, nothing to do with my own great strategic plan, nothing to do with my own wisdom. What I've learned in the course of these last 15 years is that I don't want to bank on my own capabilities in anything I set out to pursue, but rather to remain desperately dependent on my God, who so graciously sees, He cares, and He acts. I've learned that He sees my every action, my every need, my every move, the good and the bad. He cares about my every decision. He cares about my every action. He cares about my motive behind it, the good and the bad. And that He acts on my behalf to bless me or to discipline me. And I've learned that I cannot afford to be under His discipline, and that I cannot afford to not have His hand of blessing and favor on me. So as you walk out this room, marking this significant milestone in your education career, I encourage you to go out with confidence, not just in this great education you've just received, but also confidence that we each have an opportunity to experience far more in our respective seasons ahead than we can accomplish on our own. Thank you.
Jay, thanks for that message. Wow, very, very good. Thanks for using your immense talents and expertise to help others. You've got a gift, and it's definitely not being hidden under a bushel, and we wouldn't want that. With the impact you're making around the world, we're happy that all of us, including our students, have the chance to learn from you. And I appreciate also your words of faith in the message you just provided us.